Perched in the stunning countryside of Northern Bavaria, Rothenburg is one of Germany's most enchanting medieval towns. Charming half-timbered houses line cobblestone streets and historic city walls look down on a sparkling river in the valley. It looks like something out of a fairy tale, which is why so many visitors flock to this romantic, picture-perfect destination all year round. Today we will be taking a day trip from Munich over to Rothenburg, and we've decided to take a rental car to get there since we already have a rental car for our road trip through southern Germany. So we're gonna drive 2.5 hours to get there.
So this right here, my friends, is a car elevator, which I've never used before. But our car is safely tucked underground. Oh, here it comes.
It's gonna be quite a tight fit. Oh my gosh, it's such a tight fit. Yeah, it's moments like those where I'm glad that I'm traveling with Chad, because there's no way I could have done that. I'm a horrible driver.
We have officially made it to Rothenburg. The drive here was absolutely beautiful. We passed these yellow fields of some sort of wildflower, and the roads themselves were just so smooth and everything was really well marked. Driving in Germany has just been a blast. We actually got this little Volkswagen T-Roc, which I've never heard of before, but it's definitely like pretty high tech. It has like lane assist. We actually got this car through Discover Cars, which is like an online rental car brokerage company, I suppose. So instead of booking our rental car directly from a website of one of the many rental car options, we'll go to Discover Cars and they'll list all of the different options as well as pricing and the reviews of that service or that company. But what I love about Discover Cars is it's actually just so much more affordable than booking directly. As for driving in Germany, I do recommend you guys look into getting a smaller car just because it's gonna make navigating so much easier, especially if the hotel that you're staying at happens to have a little car elevator like the one we had this morning. But I have definitely worked up an appetite after driving here, and I believe our restaurant's literally right over there, so let's go eat.
This afternoon we've come to a local eatery, and we first started off with some drinks. Chad got this pizza, which is kind of like a Coke mixed with an orange soda, and then I got a beer. But look at this food. We decided to try the white asparagus because when we were walking through the market the other day, we saw just bundles and bundles of these massive white asparaguses. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to try it. And they offered it here at this restaurant, and it comes with this rump steak. And then we also have, I guess, a side sauce in this beautiful dish and some potatoes. And then the potatoes continue on with this gorgeous bowl of Kartoffel soup. So yesterday we were trying Kartoffelsalat, which is potato salad, and then this is potato soup. It has some bread pieces on the top, some chopped up greens, and we are about to enjoy such a good meal to some wonderful, wonderful weather.
I really didn't know asparagus could be this good. It is so soft, it just falls apart in your mouth, but it's so juicy at the same time. I thought Rothenburg was gonna be pretty cool, but I didn't expect it to be this cool. The streets are actually very empty and the buildings are absolutely massive and just so beautiful. I love it here. I could live here.
So this is the iconic spot that everyone comes to take a photo, and it is very charming. You've got streets going on both sides of me, clock tower, beautiful German buildings. What's not to love?
Wow, this little town is beautiful. I love it here, and I just am having the best day ever. There are towers in like all directions, and it's just way bigger than I expected. I just expected like, okay, it's gonna be a small little town, it's gonna have some nice little buildings, but I'm like, sheesh, I'm in like an old fortress, and it's beautiful.
It just keeps going and going, and it's very picturesque, and the homes, the buildings, they're so darling. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in a little snow globe. I feel like we're also seeing it in pristine conditions. It is such a nice, beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky, and it is quite empty.
And I think it's shoulder season somewhat.
Yeah.
But it's like peak for me because I wouldn't want it to be any hotter than this because it's just like, oh, it's a good heat. Like you can sweat a little bit, but if you go in the shade, it's cool. Anyways, it's a great day. We are now walking outside of the old town. We're gonna take a path to the nearby valley where they have this historic castle that is just so cool. I can't wait to show you guys. A 20-minute walk outside of Old Town Rothenburg. We have made it to Toppler Castle, which was built in 1388, and it is just so funny looking. It basically is like this house built on top of this defense tower, and apparently it was the home of Mayor Toppler, and it was also a defense tower. And he would just come here and live there, I believe, like in the summers or something like that. But it is just the coolest little castle. And I'm just so glad we made the trip down because it was absolutely beautiful walking through the valley and looking up at Old Town.
At lunch today, Chad asked me what I was most excited about here in Rothenburg, and I told him that I was most excited about this little castle. And he's like, why? And I'm like, I think it's the funniest thing in the world. Like seeing pictures of it, I was already laughing, but seeing it in person, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it really exists.
I want one in my backyard. I did get so excited that Claire wanted to see it just because I had showed her a photo of it and she only looked at it for like 3 seconds and didn't know like anything other than that it looked like this. She's like, I want to see it so bad.
Yeah, but I feel like it would be the perfect place for an introvert to live just because no one can bother you. You have like 10 feet of brick on the bottom and just like no one can, invade your space.
In other words, this is Claire's dream home, everyone.
Okay, it'd be my dream home if it had bigger windows. The windows are a little puny for my taste, but the mayor back then probably preferred that.
Yeah. Walking back up to Rothenburg.
The downhill part was so easy. Oh man, I'm parched. Still beautiful views though. Whenever I had seen photos of the traditional German houses beforehand, I always thought that those like little wood decorational pieces were add-ons, but looking at them up close here, I've realized that it's not an add-on. It's actually like a part of the structure and it's really important. It kind of looks like the skeleton of the home, and we saw one that was kind of like falling apart, and so I was able to see how the wood was kind of put in there first, and then they filled in all of the open areas with brick. So I just thought that was really interesting because I always thought it was like a last minute, like, oh, let's make it look cute, so let's add some wood decor. But no, like it's actually a part of the foundation of the building.
I think it's just because the ones you've seen have been in like Disney World or in the US.
Yeah, that's true. The German houses, the fake German houses, have always just had them added on.
Proud of you. Look at you learning.
I'm learning.
You'll be a builder in no time. Look at the face. Yeah. It's basically you up there.
We just went into the cutest little shop that makes handmade ceramic versions of the buildings here. And they were honestly so detailed and the craftsmanship was amazing. And we loved them so much that we bought 4. One for ourselves, one for my sister who's watching our dogs right now, and also for some friends. But you can put little candles on the inside and the flame will flicker around. It looks like they're little people living inside these homes. They were so adorable, and we're gonna walk around the city and take photos in front of all of the buildings that we have replicas of now. I'm just so happy with that purchase. But we are now in front of the old fortified wall. We're gonna go walk along it and see, I guess, Rothenburg from a different perspective.
Walking up the rampart, the rampart, the rampart.
I didn't even know that rampart was a word until Chad taught me that word today. Do you know that rampart's a word? It's like Dora or what, Elmo, where they teach you words.
Wow, that's some steep stairs.
The view from up here is definitely very different from down below. It's just this endless sea of rooftops. And the roofs here have the cutest little shingles. They're all perfectly aligned and they're bright red. And also the roofs are a lot more pointy, or they're much more slanted than the roofs that I see in the States, or that I've actually seen anywhere in the world. Pointy roofs. That's my takeaway from Rothenburg. But right now the sun is slowly setting and everything is just golden.
Something else I wanted to note about the wall is that it seemed to be perfect taunting height. Like if you wanted to taunt someone and be like,
oh my gosh, it's also the perfect height for someone down below to throw a tomato at you.
yeah, but you could still see them so clearly down below, but you're obviously just so much higher.
Really?
Yeah, I really want.
That much higher?
You are. It's a tall wall. Like you couldn't fall off of that and not get hurt. We are on the hunt for the houses of Rothenburg, and I believe up ahead on the left is the first one.
We were doing a little treasure hunt trying to find all of the real homes of the replicas that we bought from the ceramic shop. And when we came here, I realized that this restaurant is actually one that I wanted to eat at, but I was trying to call for a reservation yesterday and I couldn't get through. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I think we just bought a replica of one of the most famous restaurants here in Rothenburg. And so we got in line for a walk-in spot and we got the last table and it's outside. I'm so excited, like I wasn't expecting to eat here at all.
To start our meal, we both ordered a soup. Claire got the asparagus soup, which had chunks of white asparagus, and then I ordered their white garlic soup, which came out green, and it's making me think of Shrek for some reason. But it tastes very good, very creamy, slight hint of garlic, with these little crouton bread things. Also, our server told us that she picked the garlic herself to make the soup, because it's from their garden, which is pretty wild.
For dinner this evening, we have gotten one of their specials of the day. This is a risotto with 3 different types of seafood. So we've got 2 kinds of fish and then some prawns. And then we got some more white asparagus. It is so amazing here in Bavaria. It's just so plump and juicy and it melts in your mouth. And then Chad decided to get it with some prawns, and then we have a side of potatoes. And there's just this gorgeous buttery yellow hollandaise sauce drizzled over the asparagus.
You know it's a good day when you have 2 apple strudels in the same day, and this one feels like the deluxe version. It has some of the like sauteed apples on the sides, 2 scoops of vanilla with the whipped cream, and another one of these that Claire and I have to fight over. I forget what these are called. It's like the local fruit. You can have the leaves and I'll have the fruit. So as you guys may or may not know, Claire and I have traveled to quite a few different restaurants and we've eaten some good food. And there's always something about these certain little restaurants, like the one we went to, where our server, we believe, is the owner of the restaurant. And there's just such a like cozy, homey feel, and you can tell that the people serving you love what they're doing and they're just full of life. And I feel like it definitely comes through with the food that you eat. Yeah, I just wanted to share that because it is something super special about when someone's passionate about the food, you can definitely taste it. Where are we?
Somewhere over here.
And we walked on the wall today. From here, this is where we parked.
We've walked like everywhere.
Oh, we were also over here. Where's the tower?
That house?
It's supposed to be right here. Maybe that's it.
Dinner was simply exquisite, and I'm so glad that we took this day trip to Rothenburg because we almost didn't. But at the last minute, we were like, let's take the day trip and see what this little town is all about. And everything today has just been magical and memorable. So if you are in southern Germany, make sure to make a trip here to Rothenburg. But if you'd like to see where we go next, hit subscribe as we travel to 50 countries around the world. And also a huge thank you to our Patreon supporters. And with all that said, we'll catch you on the next one.